When most people imagine Switzerland, they picture something that almost doesn't seem real. Snow-covered mountains, crystal-clear lakes, quiet villages, luxury trains crossing the Alps, and landscapes that look more like movie scenes than real places. For decades, Switzerland has been seen as one of the most beautiful countries on Earth, a destination associated with wealth, peace, and an almost perfect quality of life. But the moment tourists actually arrive there, many of them experience the same shock almost immediately. Everything is expensive, and not just a little expensive. In some cities, a simple lunch can cost what people spend on an entire day in other countries. A coffee, a train ride, a hotel room. Suddenly visitors realize how quickly money disappears in Switzerland. And yet, despite these prices, millions of people continue dreaming about visiting the country every single year. Which raises an interesting question. What makes Switzerland so special that people are willing to spend so much money just to experience it for a few days? One of the first things visitors notice in Switzerland is the incredible feeling of order and calm that exists almost everywhere. Trains arrive with astonishing precision, streets are remarkably clean, and even large cities somehow feel peaceful compared to many other places around the world. In countries where delays, noise, and chaos are common parts of everyday life, Switzerland can almost feel unreal. But maintaining this level of organization comes at a price. Switzerland has one of the highest standards of living in the world, and salaries are also significantly higher than in many other countries. This affects nearly everything tourists experience. Restaurants, hotels, transportation, groceries, and even simple daily activities often cost far more than visitors expect. For many travelers, the first real shock happens at restaurants. Ordering what seems like an ordinary meal can quickly turn into a bill that feels almost unbelievable. And the surprising part is that for locals, this is completely normal. Transportation is another thing that surprises almost everyone who visits Switzerland for the first time. The country is famous for having one of the best railway systems in the world, connecting cities, villages, mountains, and lakes with incredible efficiency. Traveling through Switzerland by train is considered part of the experience itself, because the routes pass through some of the most breathtaking landscapes in Europe. But while the trains are impressive, the prices can also be shocking. A single scenic train ride through the Alps can cost more than entire transportation budgets in other countries. And yet, people still pay for it. Because once those landscapes begin appearing outside the window, snow-covered mountains, green valleys, waterfalls, and tiny villages hidden between the Alps, it suddenly becomes easier to understand why Switzerland has become such an iconic travel destination. In many ways, the country sells not just transportation, but the experience of witnessing landscapes that seem almost impossible to exist in real life. Another thing that surprises many visitors is how deeply nature is connected to everyday life in Switzerland. In many countries, mountains and lakes are treated mainly as tourist attractions. But in Switzerland, nature feels fully integrated into the identity of the country itself. It's completely normal for people to spend weekends hiking through the Alps, swimming in lakes, skiing during winter, or simply sitting quietly in places surrounded by mountains. This relationship with nature influences everything from architecture to lifestyle. Even the cities often feel designed to coexist peacefully with the environment around them. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Switzerland consistently ranks among the countries with the highest quality of life in the world. Because beyond the luxury image and expensive reputation, there's also a lifestyle built around balance, organization, safety, and connection with nature. And perhaps this is what makes Switzerland one of the most unforgettable places on Earth. It's a country full of contrasts. On one side, you have some of the highest prices tourists will ever encounter. On the other, you have landscapes so beautiful that they barely seem real. Switzerland constantly forces people to compare cost and experience at the same time. But despite the expensive restaurants, the costly hotels, and the surprisingly high daily expenses, millions of travelers still place Switzerland at the top of their dream destinations. Because for many visitors, standing in the middle of the Alps, watching the clouds move slowly above snow-covered mountains, and experiencing the silence of those landscapes becomes something far more valuable than money itself. And maybe that's the reason why so many people leave Switzerland feeling like they visited not just another country, but a place that almost feels too perfect to belong to the real world.